God dang it.
Yeah, Bruna ended up leaking out once again. Motherfuckers are talking about the brand new leaks that just came out. You've probably seen it, like small gameplay was leaked out, the animations were leaked out, and then Rockstar they took it down, confirming the leaks were legit. But we gotta talk way more than that, so let's actually get the shit show started. You don't have to like or subscribe, none of that, but shout out to the homie Hazard. Like if you want to, but you don't have to. Roll it.
He seems like the archetypal morally gray GTA character who grew up in a rough neighborhood, joined the army in his late teens, then went on to become a handyman, doing odd jobs for some shady folk. His official bio tells us all about the sort of person he is, someone who just wants an easy life, but things keep getting harder as he tries to fit in with the rest of civilized society. Oh, and the middle-aged man you see stepping out of the vapid Cara 4x4 at the start of trailer 2, well, that's Brian Hayter, Jason's landlord and employer, as well as an old-school drug runner who's been active since the 1980s. These days,
he's gonna be like pain in the ass crack, definitely.
He moves product through his boatyard with the help of his third wife, Lori, who you can see in the screenshot right
now. Man, motherfucker's having a hard time getting like first one, and he out here getting a third one, or he's on the third one. Yo,
and he's one of the many secondary characters who we're gonna get to meet in GTA 6. Our second protagonist, as well as Jason's love interest in the game, is gonna be Lucia Caminos, who has quickly become a fan favorite due to her exuberant personality. But putting the Gooner bait aside for a moment, it is worth noting that Lucia is going to be the first playable female.
That's going to get nerfed, bro. I'm sorry, but that is going to get nerfed. There is no way. Otherwise, that's going to take 2 terabytes of SSD, and many people don't have that capability or the SSD bandwidth. Nah, that ain't happening. That's going to happen.
The protagonist in the history of GTA, and that's certainly interesting here because we've never had a female ass kicker like her ever before. I mean, she clearly knows.
Nor did we had that kind of ass either. Pulse on that one, but yeah, no, that's gonna get nerfed, bro. That ass
a fight based on those official screenshots of her in a boxing gym, and in the trailers, you can even see that she's wearing a boxing glove necklace around her neck. The reason behind Lucia's interest in kickboxing is her father, who taught her to fight from a very young age, almost right after she learned how to walk, and that's also how she got herself into the Leonida Penitentiary. By fighting for her.
So you're telling me she's not gonna have like daddy issues? Bruh, ain't no way. Gotta have daddy issues, yo. Like we need the main protagonist gotta have daddy issues. But yeah, Jason, he probably gonna have mommy issues. Yeah, that's a given. He's gonna have mommy issues.
Family. We can observe an ankle monitor on Lucia's leg and all the promotional artwork as well as the trailers, so this could be the game's way of restricting our movement and controlling which areas we're able to explore early on. Kind of like Red Dead Redemption 2, where at the start you can't visit every part of the map and things gradually unlock as you progress through the story. Aside from Jason and Lucia though, there are several other characters featured on Rockstar's official GTA 6 webpage, and one of them is Cal Hampton, who's Jason's friend. He loves conspiracy theories, which means he's kind of like a fatter version of Ron from GTA 5, and he's always snooping on Coast Guard communications.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have like UFO lore in this game, Bigfoot and all that. Obviously, we had that in like previous games from Rockstar. And the fact that they're gonna have like a conspiracy theorist, and then yeah, that'll go be crazy. By the way, if you're into UFO content and all that, we do that on the channel as well. So yeah, no, I think that's great. I think that's great. They're probably gonna have that. So
and a bunch of private browser tabs open on his PC. Yeah. However, my favorite character from the official GTA 6 webpage has to be Raul Batista, because this guy looks like a walking Heat reference just with the way he's dressed. And then there's the fact that he's a seasoned bank robber as well. So maybe he could be our gateway to heist in GTA 6. I don't really know, but he looks awesome and he has this sort of commanding presence, so I'm guessing he's gonna play a pretty major role in the story.
Oh, definitely.
Next, let's talk about the map. We already know Leonida State is going to be much larger than the GTA 5 map, but how much larger do you think it'll be? If I were to hazard a guess here, I'd say around 200% bigger, so approximately thrice the area of Los Santos plus Blaine County combined. And we can sit here speculating all day long, but there's a community of highly dedicated fans who have taken it upon themselves to manually scroll through every single...
so this map has been made based off of the 2 trailers that are out, obviously, but alongside all the leaks that we've received, and recently there was a new leak as well, which I've seen a little bit of it, but not like fully, and they took it down as well. Rockstar took it down, so apparently that confirms it's legit. It wasn't anything crazy big though. It wasn't as big as the first leak that we saw, I believe, back in September of 2022. So yeah, more than 3 years ago, guys. Oh, shit. That is insane. And obviously the game got delayed a couple of times. Now, at this point in time, they're saying it's going to be coming out on November the 19th, 2026. Let's hope it's not gonna get delayed any further than that. Really quickly, I gotta take a second to shout out all of you guys out there, especially the homie Ego, Josh Bona, Slim Pickens, and Jima for becoming brand new members alongside Jims, All My Coffee, Van, Miss Bond, 0017. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel, for all the blessings, even though you gotta do none of it, man. But those of you that choose to, appreciate it. Welcome to the lounges, man. Alright, let's get back to the content here, boo. Roll it.
Frame from the trailers, every single screenshot from the GTA 6 newswire, and they've laid it all out on this community mapping project right here.
It would be shocking if the map doesn't turn out to be that way, because like people have the game has been leaked like crazy and leaked to hell, and everybody's like poured in effort to make that map up. So if the map isn't anywhere near that, then that's gonna be crazy. But I doubt it.
Map, which is currently on its 8th iteration. You can't see everything because the map is only made from the data available through the officially released material, but these guys are some real geniuses because they've geolocated actual real-life buildings in Florida from the buildings shown in the trailer and screenshots, and they've separated these in-game buildings into both confirmed and speculative categories so you could see exactly which landmarks, roads, and GTA 6 map. First is Vice City, obviously, which is Rockstar's parody of Miami, and it's on the southeast side of the map. Then there's the Leonida Keys, further down from Vice City, which is an archipelago that's clearly based on the real-life Florida Keys. We also have the Grass Rivers just above Leonida Keys, and this is a marshland full of gators and mangroves, which is inspired by the Florida Everglades and Cedar Key. There's also Port Gellhorn on the western side of the map, and this is an old city port which is based on real-life Panama City and certain Bay County municipalities like Callaway as well as Springfield. Then
I wonder like if we're also gonna have South America or not, because the initial leaks back in 2017 2018 they did say that yeah, the game is also gonna have South America too, and the plot was always like one male one female Bonnie and Clyde story, you know, gonna have Coco in the game, a whole lot of that. So yeah, I mean, it made sense, right? And maybe, yeah, the official locations are gonna be these 6 places, but maybe in the prologue or later down the road in the game when you're maybe halfway through or maybe toward the end or something, yeah, we may go to a different city or a different state or a different continent for that matter. Maybe we go down to South America. I think that would be cool, having like different areas, just like how in San Andreas and I believe GTA 4, was it GTA 4? I mean, in GTA San Andreas, you go back to Liberty City, but there was another, yeah, I mean, GTA 5, we had North Yankton. So yeah, I wouldn't mind like areas like that that are kind of like secretive in nature, and then you actually go visit them and it's like, yeah, it's cool. But I hope once you visit them, you actually unlock it permanently on the map so you can always take a flight there. Because yeah, why like make, like why I put in extra effort to make an area like North Yankton and have it just for a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? I know, like, it enhances I know, guys, it enhances the gaming experience, but what I'm saying is that, like, once you What's going on, my toxic gamers and my BBC brothers? What is up, man? How we all doing? We're finally doing another gaming video, and we got the same old bull squash. I mean, come on, man. Like, what is going on in the video game sphere? What is going on YouTube? What is going on in gaming? Like the video if you think there are 2 genders. Dislike the video if you think there are 5,000 genders. Like for 2, dislike for 5,000. I want to see where you at. And don't subscribe because I post random stuff. But shout out to Andy Pants. Check this out. Roll it.
House or watching your older brother the first time you saw GTA Vice City or God of War 2 or Call of Duty.
Man,
you first tasted.
Yo, honest to God.
Watching your older brother.
Honest to God. This is how it used to be 15 years ago at my crib, bro. I would tell my homies, pull up with your controller. Let's play SmackDown versus Raw. Good times, man.
The first time you saw GTA Vice City or God of War 2 or Call of Duty, you first tasted the thrill of doing anything you wanted in a game, or being a Spartan warrior, or being dropped into World War II. Back in 2003, we all probably said something like this: man, if games look like this now, imagine how cool they will be in 20 years. Ooh. Well, did you ever imagine the tech 20 years later would be used to perfectly render some ugly Boldyke's lip hair in Last of Us 2?
Yeah. Shut up. Welcome to the path. Bro. Stepping through that door means you think your magic is strong enough to issue a challenge to the Pentasod.
or give you a sermon about using pronouns correctly,
So, I'm non-binary.
or make every single character gay and black now. Nothing highlights the fact that AAA Western Game Studios.
Bro, hey, tranquilo, bro, chill, damn, Holmes.
Or make every single character gay and black now. Nothing highlights the fact that AAA.
Now, it is truly is. This is something that we talked about prior, and I'm gonna say this again. They always do that to my black brothering, man. They always do that to my black homies. Now, if somebody is actually homosexual, great. Okay, have people that are actually homosexual do those type of characters. But if a person is straight, like, don't make them gay for the sake of like pushing agendas down people's throat, right? And most of the time, we see like straight black men be emasculated, right? Like we have seen that countless amount of times. They always do that. Like Assassin's Creed, you know, Shadows of the BBC, like prime example. We talked about it numerous times. We heard that was a real life person. Yasuke was a real life guy that was straight. He never slept with Nobunaga's sister, but in the game, Ubisoft not only made him gay, but they let him like get the puss, the kitty, and made him like give her the BBC treatment, even though in real life she was very faithful. But that's Ubisoft, and we all saw what happened and all that, bro. Like I swear to God, man, like gaming industry is diabolical right now, bro. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Western game studios are full of women, Redditors, and dudes with
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity and combined history of its players. Pursuing lives of adventure, warfare, and prosperity, they share this existence in the biggest single shard, free-to-play MMO of all time. Set 21,000 years in the future, EVE takes place in a distant cluster of over 7,000 star systems known as New Eden. It is a rich and diverse universe, featuring densely populated havens of relative safety, governed by 4 great empires. Hostile systems where player alliances make the rules. Even regions of anomalous and unexplored space that hold their own secrets. You play as a Capsuleer, a revered breed of highly trained pilot, having achieved immortality through the use of cloning technology. You navigate the universe encased in an armored capsule deep within your ship, where you have complete neural control and function as one. There are hundreds of ships to fly in EVE. Everything from small, nimble craft and versatile mid-range vessels to formidable warships and colossal freighters. Each has advantages and suited roles, but all are completely customizable as you decide how to equip and arm them. What you do in New Eden is entirely up to you. EVE's immense sandbox gives you the opportunity to choose between multiple professions and activities. The key to this unique customization of your playstyle is skill training. This is a passive process, and it continues whether you are in or out of game. As a new player, you can focus on one specific area in order to quickly reach the same level of specialization as a veteran. So be adventurous and explore new avenues of development for your character, as you can always change role and reinvent yourself if desired. If you want to fight, combat in EVE can involve solo missions against non-player adversaries, or small group skirmishes, while for some, it can even be the thrill of fleeting up with thousands of fellow pilots and battling over disputed territory. If you want to explore, then the discovery of uncharted space and ancient regions that promise riches, danger, and adventure await you. You can also engage in the business of prosperity, be it industry, mining, or even interstellar piracy. The beauty of life in New Eden is that all of these activities, and many more, can be done alone or with others. A unique in-game market, unprecedented in scale and degree of player control, is the beating heart of New Eden. Players are responsible for the manufacture of almost everything you can buy or sell. The gathering and refinement of resources, the building of ships, equipment, and even some space stations. EVE's players are core to how the universe is filled and how the economy thrives. Players in EVE can band together to form corporations where they can enrich their experience, learn new elements of gameplay, and share their wealth and goals. When these player-run corporations grow to become larger entities, they can merge with other corps to form alliances. Powerful alliances regularly compete for control and influence over large areas of space, waging wars and engaging in record-breaking battles. Even taking down well-defended, sprawling, player-built space stations. In the spirit of exploration and mystery, new content and experiences are constantly introduced into the universe, with over a decade of free expansions leading to continual development and evolution of gameplay. While every action and decision has consequences for the universe and its hundreds of thousands of players, the game remains very much about your unique adventure and story. A story that will forever be woven into the fabric of EVE.
I moved from Tokyo to Manchester and discovered British families are being legally robbed every single month. My name is Hiroshi Tanaka. I worked at Honda's UK plant for 6 years, and what I discovered about British electricity bills made me physically sick. Let me explain something most British people don't know. In Japan, we have a law from 1958. It's called the Clean Power Act. Every power company must deliver pure electricity, no hidden fees, no phantom charges, no tricks. If they overcharge you by even 1 yen, they go to prison. I'm not exaggerating. Executives have gone to jail for this. So when I moved to Manchester and got my first British electricity bill, I called my wife in Tokyo thinking there was a mistake. £412 for a 2-bedroom flat. My parents in Osaka, same size house, they pay 4,500 yen. That's about £31. I showed the bill to my British colleagues at work. You know what they said?
That's normal, mate. That's actually quite good for this area.
I couldn't believe it. In Japan, this would be a national scandal. So I started investigating. I brought my electrical testing equipment from home, the same meters Japanese inspectors use, and I started testing homes around my neighborhood. At first, people thought I was crazy, this Japanese guy knocking on doors with weird equipment. But when I showed them the results, they stopped laughing. Every single house I tested was being charged for something called reactive power. In Japan, we call it dirty electricity. It is power that your home cannot use. Your appliances don't need it. Your lights don't need it. Your heating doesn't use it. But your meter counts every single watt. I tested 100 homes in Greater Manchester. Average dirty electricity charge, 70%. That means for every £100 on your bill, only £30 is electricity you actually used. The other £70, it's for power that does absolutely nothing. It just passes through your meter and disappears. In Japan, this is illegal. In Britain, this is called business. I couldn't sleep knowing this. My British friends were being robbed in plain sight, and nobody was doing anything about it. So I did something about it. I built a small device using the exact same technology that's required by law in every Japanese home. It's called a power factor corrector. In Japan, the government gives them out free. Every home has one installed. It's been this way for over 60 years. I gave the first one to my neighbor Linda, lovely woman, retired teacher. Her electricity bill was £381. The month after she installed my device, £67. Same house, same heating, same everything. She cried. She actually cried. She thought I'd performed some kind of magic. But it's not magic, it's just technology that Japanese families have had for decades. Word spread through my street, then through my workplace, then through Facebook groups. Within 3 months, 20,000 British families were using my device.
Energy providers are absolutely terrified that you'll find out this secret. Simply plug this clever device into any main socket in your home, and you could see your electricity bill slash by up to 90% potentially overnight. With the cost of living skyrocketing, this is the solution you've been waiting for. Now you can keep the heating on without dreading the postman delivering your bill. This device utilizes patented German engineering to stabilize the current and reduce wasted electricity, which also extends the life of your washing machine and kettle. We are so confident in its performance that we offer a full money-back guarantee if you don't see the savings. But you must act fast. We have released a limited batch specifically for UK households with a massive 50% discount today. Don't let the energy giants win. Click the link below to claim your half-price offer before stock runs out.
Tampons up their asses, like the fact they can't even do a remake without putting their evil politics into it. The Mass Effect remaster nerfed all the women's asses because toxic masculinity.
Hey man, come on man, bro, what the hell, man?
The Dead Space remake added a bunch of woke shit like trans bathrooms, race swapping, and making characters gay for no reason. Silent Hill 2 made the main chick ugly and removed anything edgy from the game. Oblivion added body type A and B. Resident Evil 4, despite mostly being good, took out Leon's ultra-bass line, "Sorry, but following a lady's lead isn't my style." God help us if they ever get their hands on Dead Rising. Oh wait, they screwed that one up too. Boys, we gave them a chance and they screwed it up. I don't trust remasters anymore. All you're paying them to do is add 60 FPS and pay some gender studies major to take out anything edgy. Just get the old 2005 game from your local game store. That's the only thing I trust anymore. So boys,
man, that's quite sad though when you think about it. And I, in a way, not in a way, like I quite literally have quit gaming. Yeah, I don't play games no more. And for the last couple of years, I've played games, but very infrequently. I'm not sure if that's like age catching up. Probably because more responsibilities. I want to do other things and this, that, the other. But surely age couldn't be the only factor on why I'm not necessarily playing that much. It's multitude of things. Surely age, you know, more responsibilities. You know, that's one thing, But other than that, I genuinely feel like that corporate greed and woke politics are the main pillars. Two of the core main pillars is why gaming feels the way it feels and why gaming just don't feel the same. Because they want to push politics rather than making a good game. They want to also, you know, I read a comment. Somebody actually posted 2,000 devs, the year 2000 devs were all about skill-based. 2025 devs, they are about skin-based. The $20, $30 microtransaction skins. Yeah, I mean, that comment, honestly, like whoever put that, genius, they figured it out.
In my other videos, I think I have firmly cemented the fact that wokeness and political indoctrination have ruined video games and removed anything edgy, sexy, funny, and cool from games. What I want to talk about in this video is some of the other things that are ruining video games, in my opinion. Number one, the death of creativity. Every game is the same now, and no risks are taken anymore.
I don't want to blame Fortnite, but everybody that adapted the Fortnite model, they're not doing good. Call of Duty adopted the Fortnite model. Battlefield 6 also in a way did, but Battlefield 6 was obviously tremendously better than, let's just say, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, although some people ended up liking Battlefield 5 after the fact. But and Battlefield 6 is an alright of a game, but it wasn't too much for it wasn't like it didn't have that much content to sustain the player base. We also, I mean, I played the game, I loved it, but I haven't touched it in months, you know. And I'm noticing the same trend with my bros as well in real life, and a lot of people kind of gave up playing Battlefield 6, not because the game is bad, it's because lack of content and quite literally lack of content and quite literally the game just isn't, you know, it's not like a leap ahead versus something like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 when it came out. Battlefield 4 was broken at launch, but Battlefield 3 was honestly like amazing. It was leaps ahead, bounds ahead, and it felt unique. It felt like, you know, like they gave a shit. They actually gave a shit, and the game was enjoyable back then, alongside the Call of Duty games that were coming out. But yeah, nowadays it's not the same, bro. It's greed. Honest to God, it's greed and politics. That's what killed gaming for a lot of people, myself included.
Number 2, technology and the death of talent. Programmers and people who make games are objectively worse at their jobs now. Number 3, women, activity and fun. Guys, what do Fortnite, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six, Halo, Overwatch, Valorant, and every live service shooter have in common?
When you really, Fortnite is free, okay, whatever, but still, man, I cannot wrap my head around the idea of paying $20 for one skin. That's insane. And listen, man, before you say, oh, you just a brokey, man, get your money up, bro, I'm doing insanely well for myself. You know, I got nobody to thank other than God, my family, you guys as well, and people around me, absolutely, right? So, but even then, bro, it's just insane, bro. $20, and it's likely because I come from a time when we didn't have that. When you buy a game for $40 back in the days, $60, whatever. Now it's $80. You would get the full game. You would get the full game. You wouldn't have to rely on, you know, paying $20, $30, $40 to buy battle passes after battle passes back then. And you know, it's insane. But you must have heard this, right? Because we're having, and I don't want to say his name, he who must not be named. Of course, I made videos about him on the channel, but because this is a gaming video, I don't want to say his name because then YouTube will put this video in a different bracket because of algorithms and all that. It's kind of complicated. But he who must not be named, like Harry Potter once said, you know, the EP Island stuff, you know, the files are coming out. Yeah, so that's who I'm talking about. In the files, it was said that it was his idea and he influenced Activision to do microtransactions. You must have heard it, and it's like, oh my god, why is everything linked with that sucker, man? Like, it's just insane. Yeah, it really is insane, because I remember in Black Ops 2, during Black Ops 2 times, we were having $2, $5 microtransactions, and those were alright though, you know, honestly, looking back, I know people complained back then, but they were alright in comparison to today. Not necessarily then, but, you know, looking back, oh my god, bro, I'd rather pay like $2, $5 to get like the entire bundle, the entire thing, right? And Season Pass was, yeah, like not everybody would buy a Season Pass, but objectively speaking though, you would get a lot of content for that, and you would get a lot of good quality content. Now it's free. It's not necessarily free because they go crazy with the microtransactions and skins, but they will give you maps for free, yeah, whatever, but the free maps ain't it, you know, the quality isn't there. I'm talking about playable quality, it's not necessarily there. So yeah, man, what are we doing, bro? Like, honestly, bro, the gaming is just, maybe I'm just a hater, maybe I'm just a toxic gamer, right? Maybe that's what it is.
At their core, they are all the same game. What do I mean by that? Well, the system of rewards and progression are the exact same.
Yep.
Seasonal updates, battle pass.
Dim chwarae rygbi yn unig maen nhw ym Rygbi Caernarfon. Maen nhw'n chwarae rhan eithriadol o bwysig yn y gymuned. Rwy'n annog pob, yn enwedig merched a menywod, i ymgysylltu a chwaraeon. Ac wrth i rygbi menywod dyfu ar draws Cymru,
Mae'n barod mewn 2 funud.
Mi fydd clybiau fel Caernarfon yn chwarae mwy o gema i fwy o gefnogwyr, ac mi fydd hynny angen mwy o bwer. Dyna pam mae angen uwchraddio'r grid.
Smooth, fast, reliable. Awarded UK's most reliable broadband experience 2 years in a row. Virgin Media.
Passes, microtransactions, dailies, weeklies, monthlies, new maps, new heroes, Simpsons collab, Beavis and Butthead collab. No matter where you go, you're actually just playing the same goy slop over and over, and they want you on this retarded Skinner box because that's what gets them the most money. Duh, make a number go up. Boys, let's go back to 2005. Think about this. There was a time that Resident Evil 4 didn't exist, and Shinji Mikami woke up and was like, I think I'll make the best game on Earth today. Resident Evil 4 is packed with interesting and varied gameplay, excellent survival.
Yes, no breaks.
In BioShock, you find yourself in this underwater city in a world created by this Ayn Rand follower, Andrew Ryan. The game looked incredible and had an interesting philosophy behind the entire world. In Urban Chaos Riot Response, you are a sort of cop who just beats the shit out of rioters. It's a shooter, but you have all these other mechanics too. You rescue people, secure city blocks, disarm bombs. There's nothing like this out today. In the game 13, you are an amnesiac badass protagonist, kind of like Jason Bourne. Devil May Cry 1, you play as the badass, edgy Dante, just beating up demons and being an edgelord and saving hot chicks. Something people like to say here is that the problem is solely with AAA and, quote, indie games will save us. And I'm going to disagree with you there. Xbox Game Pass is like 90% successful indie games, and I can literally look at a screenshot and immediately tell you which genre that has already been done 1,000 times said game fits into. Oh, did you want to play a crafting survival game? Well, there's Minecraft, Pal World, Core Keeper, Abiotic Factor, Conan Exiles, Ark, Valheim, Subnautica, The Forest, No Man's Sky, 7 Days to Die, Terraria, Astroneer. Boys, am I the only one who played like one of these games and I had enough of them?
I don't even think I played a single. Yeah, I'm still checked out though. I'm really checked out, bro. I really am checked out. That's insane. Going from somebody that would come home from school and play games all day till night, going from that timeline to now, and I'm not even disappointed. I'm not even mad or sad. But I truly do wish that GTA 6, when it comes out, is actually good. You know, obviously we made a video about GTA 6 and the stuff that is happening with that. I'll link you at the game getting delayed, this, that, the other. I hope when the game comes out, and I suppose, like, you know, a week before GTA 6, you know, when we start getting like trailers for more trailers for the game, gameplay and all that, it probably would bring a lot of hype back. I think I'm 99% sure, cannot be 100%, right? But so checked out, man. In a way happy because I'm hitting the gym, doing YouTube, you know, just learning new skills, doing more stuff, right? Also pursuing acting here. That's a skill that requires a lot of time, so pursuing that, and the goal is obviously to do well in that field as well later down the road, right? Like I do see myself like doing that crap in United States of America, because here in Canada not many opportunities, sadly, especially for acting, right? There are, but not that much. I mean, United States of America, main thing. And if you're somebody that is into acting, you're pursuing that, hey man, hit me up on Instagram, man, let's connect. You know, maybe you're a director, maybe you're an actor, or you know, you're inspired by that. Yeah, so let's keep the circle tight, let's expand, let's network and all that. You never know, man. The world is really small, especially for people that are in those kind of like passionate fields and all that. So I'm doing that, hitting the gym, you know, learning new things. It's been fun. So essentially leveling up my character in real life, you know, instead of leveling up your character in GTA. And I feel like that a lot of people are just waking up in general. Yeah, go after your passions, honestly. Take care of you, because nobody is coming to save the day. Nobody's gonna care for you the way that you will for you. Take care of your loved ones, man, because yeah, gaming is just not the same. Like, the stuff that is happening in real life is insane too. So
boys, am I the only one who played like one of these games and I had enough of them? If I never had to find 10 wolf pelts to make one wolf medallion and 10 wolf medallions to make one wolf gem, I would be good for the rest of my life. Or did you want another indie tactics game? Well, you have 20,000 tactics games to choose from. Gears Tactics, Wargroove 2, Final Fantasy Tactics, Metal Slug Tactics, Midnight Suns, Wasteland, Phoenix Point, Warhammer Rogue Trader, War Tales, XCOM 2, Triangle Strategy. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired of tactics games. Honestly, XCOM 2 was the best one I ever played, and we should have just stopped after that. What about indie 2D platformers? Definitely not swamped with
Toxic Gamer!
Those. We only have Shovel Knight, Grizz, Celeste, Pizza Tower, Katana Zero, The Messenger, Super Meat Boy, Hollow Knight, Ori, Planet of Lana, Rain World, and the list goes on for miles. See, you guys who push indie games, I will agree there are quite a few good indie games out there, but 85% of indie games are just slop as well.
No, 100% though. There are some really amazing indie games, but the issue becomes, especially, you know, we have seen like the last few or dozens of gaming stream events, right? Like Gamescom, you know, Summer Game Fest that has replaced E3. Yeah, most of the games that we're getting are indie game trailers, especially made and targeted toward kids. So, like, bro, I want to see a game for myself. Like, where is a game for me and for my bros? Or, you know, for, let's just say I'm pushing 30. So for a target audience between like 20 and 30-year-old, right? Like my kind of group. We're the games for us, the gamer dudes, right? So yeah, I'm not seeing that many, and the ones that I see are obviously slob, AI, you know, woke politics, microtransactions. So much greed is showing within the process of these games. It's nuts. It really is insane. So yeah, and especially when every game feels like indie game, or most of the games are indie games targeted toward kids, and you're not gonna find any game made for you, then you're gonna be like, yeah, lame, trash, I'd rather go, you know, choke on a BBC or something like that. I mean, you know, big pause on that one. Big pause, man, big pause. Whoa.
I still can't believe you know her.
Come in.
Your visitors.
Hello, visitors. Oh my god. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to play some Donkey Kong with me?
Okay.
Sure. Okay, use your voice to get that baddie.
Got it.
Yeah.
We can't wait for that.
Let's try this.
You're even stronger.
Hang on, you can sing.
You must need me completely.
No, stop. You should go on stage instead of me tonight.
Yes.
Okay, great. That's what's happening tonight.
Welcome to my bank, Revolut, with its layers upon layers of protection, like quick selfie checks for big withdrawals, should anyone attempt to impersonate me. Not even close. Revolut.
Whoa, big pause. Okay, I guess it's enough internet for today, man. But okay, roll.
Oh, it's city builder slop or tactic slop or indie platformer slop. Don't even get me started on auto battler games like Vampire Survivors and how everything is just a Vampire Survivor clone now. Ball Pit, Halls of Torment, Rotato, Enter the Gungeon, Neon Abyss, Mega Bonk, Risk of Rain. Don't get me started on Portal clones.
Get started, brother. I want you to be riled up. Big pause again, but I want you going, you know? You feel what I'm saying? I love it when you go off, homie.
Cube, Antechamber, We Were Here, Talos Principle, Turing Test, Superliminal. Boys, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that AAA gaming is overrun with gay communists, women, politics, microtransactions, and a lack of creativity. Indie games are overrun with the fact every game is just copying every other game now. There is such a massive lack of true originality in all games these days. Guys, here are a few games that were made prior to the existence of the smartphone. Nobody had a smartphone and they came up with these ideas. Portal. It single-handedly created the first-person puzzle genre. Half-Life. It's the most influential first-person game of all time and reinvented the first-person shooter by fusing seamless storytelling, world-building physics, AI, and a believable world design. Assassin's Creed. There was nothing like it when it came out, and it has...
Oh man, the first few Assassin's Creed. Nah, but the first few Assassin's Creed games were amazing, bro. Honest to God, though, I loved those games. I played it. I believe I have Assassin's Creed 2 Platinum on the PS3, the Sony Pony 3, right? Yeah, I played it to that degree.
Lived on for 20 more years. Halo. It not only revolutionized shooters, but revolutionized specifically console shooters and how they should feel to play. Metal Gear Solid. It was the first 3D stealth game, and it would literally create the stealth genre, which would be copied by everyone. GTA 3. It's often credited with creating the first open world game that felt like a, quote, real place, meaning you could completely ignore the main missions and do what you want and have fun. GTA is definitely...
First main big open world title for the time, right? That felt insanely amazing for the time, obviously, duh. But, like, I don't know, man, I'm kind of worried for GTA 6 right now.
One of the most influential video games of all time. These games were all so good that they spawned an entire generation of copycats. Why is nothing in gaming truly as original as any of these games were anymore? Boys, here's the thing I'm trying to understand that will perfectly lead into my next point. Why has technology gotten better and things became more accessible, and yet games have gotten...
CPU processing power, now absolutely. They're putting in more money to make these games, or rather, make more microtransactions. It's greed. Greed literally just killed gaming, man. That has killed passion. Perhaps not for the devs, but or perhaps because if the greed is coming from the higher ups, then the devs would have to do what the higher ups are telling them to do. You know what I mean, right? The ground level employees, the devs that are working on these games, obviously, you know, somebody's planning things and they are executing the plan. And if the plan is shit, then the game will be shit, regardless of how talented a gaming dev is, right? Because they're following the blueprint. If the blueprint is shit, then your product will be shit, regardless of no matter how talented you are. That got nothing, you know? That got nothing on the blueprint, the plan.
Objectively worse. You would think that with more internet and more cell phones, people would be smarter and make better stuff.
I still can't believe this is the Halo they showed at the Xbox reveal event. Was it the Xbox Series X reveal event? I guess, right? Yeah, can't believe it. Back then there were so many memes, and there was a whole lot of the Sony pony versus Xbox things, right? Xbots. You know, there were a whole lot of memes because people would always rile each other up, and there was always that culture. In a way, I kind of missed it though. I miss it because it was funny. It was honestly really, really funny, and we had like insanely good memes and good laughter in between too. It was just toxic when it became like really serious, right? When people actually cared for that more than anything in the world, right? That's when it became toxic. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking video games and plastics, right? It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep, but back then it was kind of deep. And the memes that were made after that one, people were also replacing the gun with the protein shake, the chalky milk. Yeah, it was funny. I remember that.
But the opposite has happened. Cell phones have made us dumber and lazier and less creative. I mean, for God's sake, look at the cathedrals of the 1400s. They did this without the internet. And nobody is even capable of making these today. So this leads perfectly to point number 2, technology and the death of talent. But before we talk about that, I want to tell you guys about a based military game that never went woke, and that is the base Go. Sometimes I read the books of my enemies, and so I recently read Jason Schreier's book about Blizzard entitled Play Nice. He, of course, blames capitalism and sexism for the downfall of Blizzard, but it's so incredibly obvious. Blizzard was a bunch of dudes in the 90s, and now it's a bunch of shrill, purple-haired women and men in dresses. That's it. That's why it's
no disrespect, though. No disrespect to women out there. There are good women, obviously, but, you know, it's just like, we're so different, though. Both genders are so different. It's simply put, the audience for I'll just use Call of Duty, right? Obviously women play those, girls play that game, and it's amazing, it's awesome, you know, whatever, right? Yeah, girls do play that game too, but dominantly it's men, it's the boys that play the game. So if the devs are women, obviously they're not going to be able to understand a man or a dude's psyche to the degree a man will, because hey, I'm a man, so I understand how the mind of a man works. So yeah, simple as that, right? Simple as that. And when politics get involved, you get shit products, right? It's the same thing, right? For example, if in a woman field, a woman would understand that field better than a man, generally speaking. Generally, obviously we're talking generally, not necessarily specifically. So generally speaking, if a man joins in a field that is dominantly women, he might not understand the field that well. So yeah, the experience for the females isn't gonna be that good. Let's be objective. So the same is happening here too. Yeah, surely they can also have like female devs. I think it's they can bring like some creativity. But when it's politics over creativity, that's when the fun gets sucked out. That's when you're seeing these type of videos. You're seeing gamers say all that stuff on the internet and talk about it, and that's why games are shit now. One of the core pillar, obviously, greed has, like we talked about earlier, greed has a massive role to play too.
Now, guys, in the 90s and early 2000s, Blizzard was goated. Blizzard created Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, and in 2014, Hearthstone. Schreier often references the frat boy culture of the early Blizzard days, but guess what, Chief? They made amazing games. Yeah. In 2002, a standard computer had 256 megabytes of RAM, and a bunch of dudes created World of Warcraft on that computer. If you remember,
I still can't get over the fact that, you know, the PS2, we used to have 8 megabytes of memory stick, bro. And the biggest they made was 64 megabytes MB. That's insane. Obviously, that was because you wanted to save the game, so it was just for the saved data for the most part, because you would have the game in discs and you would use the disc to play the game. Everything would be on the hard copy. Nowadays, even if you buy the hard copy, the hard copy for the most part is just the activation key. That's the only thing that's in on it, because once you put in that disc, you still need to download the game. So yeah, like it really is raps, man. And this is that GTA 6 video that I was talking about. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It will be an eye-opener, man, and I hope this doesn't creep in there, but apparently it already has. Check it out, and I'll see you there.
and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
We're testing the waterproofing technology of Columbia OutDry by subjecting these hikers to 1 year of rainfall in one hit.
Okay.
And they're dry. Columbia, engineered for whatever.
Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And to buy an R35 GTR for under $50,000, it has to have 3 different things wrong with it. Number 1, it has to have accident history. Number 2, it has to have high mileage. And number 3, it has to look like this. Yes, I bought this, the cheapest R35 GTR in the USA, and it has purple wheels. The GTR, aptly named Godzilla, is just one of those cars that people love, a supercar killer, and they don't care that it has the same key as every other Nissan that kind of looks like an Enema. And they don't care that inside it has all the same window switches as you could get in a Versa or an Altima. Same with the signal stocks. They don't care about any of that kind of stuff, and these have never depreciated because they are unbelievably fast. So new in 2010, 485 horsepower stock, dual clutch transmission, twin turbo V6, 0 to 60 in the 3s. This thing beat Ferraris, Lamborghinis, cars twice, 10 times the value, but that was a long time ago, and this car's been through a lot. When the R35 GTR came out in 2009, it was a big deal. The previous generation ended in 2002, so it was a long absence, but also this is the first GTR officially sold in the United States. So no gray market or sneaking these things in. You could actually buy them at Nissan dealers in the US for around $80,000 new. And the GTR had a very long production run where the prices went up and up and up. And towards the end, the 2024, the last year, a Nismo model was $220,000. So the price more than doubled over the decade plus these things were in production. And sales did dramatically go down as time went on. Towards the end, they were only selling a few hundred a year versus the first couple of years they were selling a couple thousand. Still very low production, but obviously it made sense to end production and go with a more affordable car, the Z, sort of the fun car that Nissan replaced it with. And the GTR, well, it became an instant legend. I felt like I missed the boat because prices immediately jumped when they ended production. Unlike a lot of post-COVID cars, the prices actually went up on these rather than down. So nice low-mileage cars from the first few years of production, the least desirable examples, can still be closer to the MSRP, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, unfortunately. So for me to get one for under 50, it really took some doing, but obviously, visually, you can see why. So this GTR, a 2010, it doesn't have that bad of an accident history, actually, just minor damage reported. It's not salvaged. It hasn't been in a serious accident that I can tell, but it does have 115,000 miles on it. And it was traded in at a Ford dealer. The mechanic that works at the Ford dealer actually traded this in for a Lincoln Aviator, a 2015, just something simple, basic transportation. He had his fun with it for over 4 years and actually put a lot of miles on it, a lot of road trips, but decided to trade it in. He didn't want to deal with selling it himself. And the dealer offered it for sale exactly as you see it right here and photographed it with it slammed all the way to the ground like this with the purple wheels. So it has
Copilot. Read these reviews and distill them into a visual summary.
Hargreaves, Lansdowne.
Air ride is not a permanent stance nation here, but the purple wheels slammed to the ground. In the photos, this thing looked like it had been modded to death, and nobody wanted it. I saw it and couldn't believe what I was seeing, and the fact that it was less than 3 hours away from me. So I gave him a call and said, hey, if there's any way it's under 50 out the door, they wanted way more for it, considering how much they usually go for, let me know. They said, oh, no way. But then I made the case that I'm the guy you want to buy this car, and the people that are going to come in and eat your brain on this thing that want it exactly as it sits, they're not going to get financed. They're going to joyride. I'm easy. Cash, just sell it to me. A few days went by, and they actually said yes. I could not believe it. I went down there immediately and picked this thing up, but I assumed the worst. I assumed there's going to be a lot of mechanical issues with it, a lot of things that I was going to need to fix. But actually the drive home was incredible. It was so comfortable, and a lot of the mods that I thought I was going to immediately take off, I'm actually going to leave on this thing. But the stuff that's definitely got to go is this front end treatment right here. Not only is it just weird to have these extra wings on here, which this is the stock bumper. They just drilled holes into it to add these extra little blades for aero, along with this lower splitter, which actually I don't mind. But in addition, it is a carbon fiber hood, a real one, but it's all faded and cracked and just looks terrible, along with these hood release pins, which are not locked, but geez, I mean, do I get a stock hood? At the very least, this thing needs to be re-cleared or painted, and it looks pretty close to the stock GTR hood, with the exception of these vents right here, which, well, at least some of them are functional, not that one. And then the headlights. Man, oh man, these headlights, it is so sad, along with the paint on this thing. It's black, so it shows everything, and it went through every single hard touch car wash and sat outside, and it needs a serious, serious correction. And then the purple wheels, they are off-brand. Purple, it's definitely a thing. It is not for me, along with this giant wing. The giant wing I go back and forth on, because they actually did put a big wing on these things when they did the Nismo editions, and obviously I have a history of big wing cars. It sure has been a run of JDM cars lately in the garage, including this 2005 Toyota Prius that I bought back after selling 7 years ago. Now, I did this goofy Fast and Furious treatment about a decade ago, and the tires were just as old, long overdue for an upgrade. So I went to TireRack.com, the sponsor of today's video, and browsed through their unmatched selection, used their helpful shopping tools and unbiased reviews and tire tests to make the right choice. I chose a set of Redesign Hypertrack All Seasons, as TireRack's data said it offered excellent handling for sports-oriented vehicles, which I transformed this Prius into, while not sacrificing year-round performance in all-weather conditions and general comfort overall. After installing them, I could immediately tell the difference, with much more confident cornering and a way quieter ride as well. Now I don't have to worry about my old, dry-rotted tires letting me down, and Tire Rack provides 2 years of road hazard protection for free with purchase, so you're covered if you catch a nail or a pothole. Shipping was super quick as well, with next-day delivery to most nationwide. Tires ship free to your home or office, or to an installer of your choice, and Tire Rack even has mobile installers in select areas. So if you're needing tires for your ride, no reason to put it off. Experience the way tire buying should be. Use the best tools in the business, compare tires for your exact vehicle, and filter by what matters most at TireRack.com, and I totally recommend Redesign for year-round comfort and protection. As you can see, the taillights have been blacked out as well, and it's been debadged. There's a hole here, I imagine, for the stock spoiler. But when you pop the trunk, you see its party trick right here, the air ride kit, 2 air compressors, a big tank here, a lines going to all the struts. That was added aftermarket, but it did come with the stock dynamic struts. They look intact. It looks like it's been replaced once, Bilstein, so I could pop these back on. But the thing is, we'll get into it a little more when I drive it. I actually really like the air ride on this thing. I didn't think I would, but I love it. Damage-wise, this is the only part that kind of sucks, because that rear quarter is pushed in a little bit. It's taken the paint, so I'd probably have this PDR pushed back out and then touched up, and you would never notice. The other really sucky cosmetic thing is a very common GTR problem, even on the nice ones, and that is the dashboard. Something that Nissan Infiniti did in the mid-2000s with their dashes, making them soft touch, also made them crack and bubble and pimple up. They actually did a recall with this on the Infiniti FX. It looks really bad with their dashboards. With this one, it's just cracking here and starting to chip away. And this is even happening on garaged cars on this side as well. So there's 2 fixes. You can wrap the dash in some Alcantara type material, kind of cheesy or whatever, or replace the dash. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might leave it alone. But the other thing that's sort of a crime against humanity in here is the fake carbon fiber. So there's a steering wheel, carbon fiber, and then there's this fake carbon fiber here that's factory from Nissan right here. I'm pretty sure it's fake. Same with this, and right here around the infotainment screen. But everything else, like this here and down here, it's that thick plastic jelly carbon fiber that is totally fake. They even put it right here, which when you compare it to real carbon fiber and then the fake jelly, it looks so bad. And it's not peeling off easily, unfortunately, so it's really glued down. And when you look at all the visual modifications, you think, man, this is one beat tired GTR, but actually the thing was really well taken care of. And when you put the suspension up, which should be doing now, upsy daisy, it looks a whole lot better at the stock ride height. And when you pop the hood, it hasn't been modded badly in here as well. You can see the aftermarket suspension popping through there. You can see the intakes, they're definitely different in aftermarket. And there's an exhaust on this thing, but otherwise, it's looking pretty stock, a little dusty, but pretty tidy. Not anything visually going wrong that I can see, but also it has a tune, so it is not 485 horsepower. It has the stock turbo, so it's probably somewhere around 600 horsepower. Very easy to get 100 plus horsepower gain out of a tune. And the other big surprise when I picked it up is it has a completely rebuilt transmission, an outfit called Shep. It's the 2.5, and that is the big gotcha, the big worry on the GTR, because when the clutches wear out or other things, it is $10,000 plus, just $8 grand for the transmission. So to get one with the transmission already done, the big gotcha, that is a huge, huge deal and a big peace of mind as far as driving this thing. And it sounds so good. And cracked dash and fake carbon fiber aside, it is a really cool gauge cluster. And up here, the extra instruments, very fast and furious there in the screen. It can't help but smile every time you start up this thing and rev it up and run through the gears. And it is insanely, insanely fast. So let's take it out and actually up to the car wizards to see if he can burst my bubble, because I don't know if there's anything wrong with this car. His first impressions on looks, they weren't good, but first impressions on the drive, this thing drives so much better than it looks, and it is ridiculously fast. Obviously the tune on it makes a big difference, but these things were fast out of the box, 3.5 seconds to 60 back in 2009, and it was half the price of a Porsche 911 Turbo. Whoop, hit the traction control. This thing's insane. It is totally insane, amazing. I hadn't driven one in over 5 years, and I guess I just forgot how good they are. This doesn't feel like some cheap Nissan. This feels like a proper supercar.
Did you know that if you enter your name and a few small details into this website, it brings up all your previous car finance agreements on screen and lets you know which one you could be owed a refund on? The free check that I've attached to the video will find all your old finance agreements you've had between 2007 and 2021 and help you submit a claim for a refund. Don't miss out on your chance to get potentially £1,846 and use the free 60-second online check.